Uh, life. Life is extraordinarily beautiful. But how do you know if what you're doing is worthwhile? How do you know what you're doing is worth your time and effort? Well, a lot of us like doing things. And how do you know that it might be truly beneficial to you? Here's what I'll tell you. If you're doing a rewarding skill where, you're enjoying it, why should you not continue it? Why should you not? Now, here's what I tell you. There is some skills in which you probably will not find to be really all that important. But it's good to have things you enjoy to do. Now, what if you don't have things you enjoy to do? Well, here's what I tell you. There is definitely things you enjoy to do. Definitely, 100%. There is so much available to you that I'm sure you can find something to do. Anything to do, really. But we all think of that, everything's so crazy in the modern era. Everything's so fast. Get done now. Instead of trying to get something immediately, because that does not work. Instant gratification does not work, because it comes crashing down. It's like drinking coffee. You drink it, pretty soon after, you get some energy, then you crash and burn. That's what cheating in life is like. Now, what do I mean cheating in life? Well, by cheating, I mean you're not doing things through legitimate means. Well, not legitimate means, but you're kind of not really taking a thought to think about what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're going to do it, how you're going to continue to do it. Here's one thing to think about, is that it takes a very certain kind of person to run an organization or a company. Because I think something like 50% of businesses that are passed down from the first generation to the second generation end up failing. Why is that? Well, the first generation owner will have the vision, the idea. He'll know all the effort it takes to get there. Second generation just kind of takes it for granted, as you will. But should you take that for granted? No, you shouldn't. Hard times can come. Your entire industry can be changed. In the olden days, before alarm clocks, there were people who would go and knock on your window or your door to wake you up. There were businesses that did that. If you're the first generation owner, you know everything. You know how to do it, you know how to run it, you know how to keep everything running smoothly. Second generation comes around. Alarm clocks invented. Oh no. Your industry's gone. What do you do? Well, if you have the methodology behind success, you'll find it again. Why do you think that? You can be a rich guy. You can lose everything, get it back again, lose it all, then get it back again. It's not so much the environment that impacts you. Yes, the environment does impact you, of course, but it's the decisions you make. It's the mindset you have, the ideas you have, the knowledge of how to do things. to make someone do something well, you need to have good communication, good organizational skills. You need to be on time. You need to be up and early. You also need to get good amount of sleep. It's very important to sleep. Like, sleep is one of the most important things, but I'll talk about that in a future video. Now, a lot of us don't really think about life. We never really take time to consider what our actions may have happen to us. And there is so many things that impact what you choose to find meaningful and what you like. There is physiological things, or psychological things, genetic things, like for example, if you are there are people who have genes for specific jobs because their ancestors did those jobs. Do you know what I sort of mean? Like, there were hunter genes per se, and those still exist in our society and probably will continue to exist. Whether people use those or not, that is up to them. Probably hunters would be stronger, faster, more endurance, and that sort of thing, really. And also teamwork, because you can't kill an animal by yourself. You got to have a group of people. That's how human society has become so pervasive, by using our minds and connecting with others. Because a human by itself is very weak. Very weak. And so, how does this relate to business and the individual? Well, you can't succeed individually. Your goal can succeed, okay. Yeah, your goal, but you can't succeed without the help of others. Look at people like Bill Gates. He is relatively intelligent, I would say. And so what he does is delegates work down because he needs time to grow the business. That's what his job is to be focused on, not doing the monotonous day-to-day activities of his company. Like, he's not going to be sitting down there writing their taxes and doing that, creating the logos and typing up legal documents. He's not going to be doing that. There's not enough time in your life to do that and become wealthy. Now, you can become wealthy with a job. Of course you can. Anybody can. I'm just saying that if you want to get very, very wealthy, you're going to need to have some sort of thing backing you to get there. You need more than just one individual to succeed. You need the whole group. You need the tribe. You need your family, friends, and workers, probably. Once you're starting to make a little bit of money, I'm sorry, but eventually it will probably start to make sense to hire someone to do a job for you for a paycheck. You can start a business. It's probably smart to have more than just you running the place. It's not going to work with just one dude. And so, where does that leave us? What does that mean about the lives we live? Well, you can be an ambitious man or woman who needs to execute sort of a vision, or you can be the man who is helping to execute the vision. I can't think of anything else. You have a goal, or you're helping someone achieve their goals. And I think that's good. I think that it's good. So what I mean is competition is good. Because when you have other people competing against each other, you all get better. You all get better at what you're doing, and the consumer likes that. Like when Apple competes with Samsung, AT&T, I don't know the other phone brands, but when they compete, all the products are getting better and better. They're not stagnant. They're not like this monopoly that just prevents technological increases, because that would render them obsolete, because then they don't have a monopoly over your ability to purchase one singular item. Like capitalism is an amazing system if you think about it. Capitalism is probably one of the single most amazing human systems ever devised in all of human history. It has enabled the unprecedented amount of wealth to be gained in the world, and billions of people have been lifted out of poverty and no longer are starving and wondering where they're going to get their next meal. So many people. It is, if not, one of the greatest things ever invented. Now, it allows the individual to sort of do things and like make their own decisions, and I would say that letting yourself decide is always better than letting someone else decide for you. Like, how is someone else going to make the correct decision for you? Now, the Industrial Revolution is also one of these unprecedented moments in human history. It is probably the single greatest thing that has impacted like our society for ages and ages. I mean, a lot of what we use today, like machines, like really, if you think about it, like everything is really just some kind of like combustion engine. Isn't that weird? I mean, like a lot of things are. Some type of engine that takes fuel, converts it into energy. That's what they do. And I mean, that's how you get energy. Like, you gotta do something to get energy. You don't just magically produce it. It's not like this resource you can just mine and hoard. I mean, yeah, you can hoard energy by just stockpiling a crap ton of oil or coal or something. But, like, a lot of people think that energy just comes free. No, it's not free. Nothing's free, okay? You can't get anything for free. And if you could, I would be exploiting that. Of course I would. Who wouldn't? Everybody wants some free stuff. Who doesn't? Like, I give you free knowledge. Pretty cool, isn't it? All it takes is just time. Time is a very vital aspect. Now, here's another sort of thing to think about in terms of achieving success. Diminishing returns. At what point in achieving success does it no longer make sense to put effort in, where the return is not greater than the effort? Like, let's say you could, hypothetically, you had a decision that you could choose. Like, in school, let's say you could choose to either let's say you have a 90 in a class. Okay, you have a 90. But if you do this assignment, it'll increase your grade by like 0.24%. So you'd have a 90.24%. But the assignment takes about 3 hours to do. Probably not worth it most of the time. Like, you probably have tests, you probably have homework. Don't do it. And if you do it, just do it halfway. Like, you don't have to finish it. Like, you can do some of it and get a little bit of points, and that would be good. Because you're prioritizing things that actually make sense. Now, perfectionism, I realized, is pretty bad for school. Because school, you need to... Okay, to succeed in school, you need to fail. You need to fail a lot. Like, you need to fail, not a lot, but, like, enough that you realize your own shortcomings. Like, if you just succeed all the time, 100% of the time, that's great. But when you get out in the real world and elsewhere, that's all you're gonna think. You're gonna think, I'm right, this is right, yep. And someone's like, no, that's not how you do it. Why would you do it that way? No. And you're like, oh, jeez. I think I'm better than all these people, but I'm really not. Yeah, crazy stuff to think about. No, I mean, like, that's crazy to think that you, as a human being, are capable of being very successful in this one specific thing. School. I wouldn't say school is entirely fact memorization, at least where I go, but I would say it's about 50 critical thinking, 25 fact recitation, and like 25 like read it, use your brain, think through it. So I mean, it's pretty good balance, I would say. Now, I don't like it when my teachers give me all these assignments and I'm like, this assignment's gonna raise my grade by 0.05. Why would I do this when it takes an hour to do? It's not even worth it. Not worth it. Just be aware of the rule of diminishing returns. It's not worth it to spend your effort on something that the reward is less than the effort. Well, it won't be less than the effort. It won't be worth it for the amount of effort you put in. You can put in, let's say, 10 hours on this lovely presentation. It's beautiful, it's marvelous, but you haven't had the time to memorize everything, so you're like, oh, jeez. And you're kind of screwed. Then you're like, what? I don't know what to do. But hey, guys, just look at my pretty pictures and smile along. Everything's doing fine. Also, here's another thing. Procrastinators, I see why we procrastinate. I see why. Why do we procrastinate? Well, we're scared. Also, anxiety, bro. I mean, like, anxiety is awful. But you're scared. You're scared of failing. You're scared of not doing well. You're scared of what's going to happen when your teacher grades your thing. You don't like your stuff to be criticized, destroyed, made fun at. But I think it's good to have your stuff looked at and criticized, because if you're not having it looked at and criticized, all you're thinking is that you're better than everyone else. You're not better than everyone else. Man is one creature on the earth in a solar system, in a galaxy, in the universe. You're not the center of this entire universe. You're the center and protagonist of your own story, where you forge your own pathways, where you form your own journeys, and where you succeed in your own ways. It is not the universe that decides fate, but fate is written by the hand of the protagonist. Your hand shall write the story, and nobody else gets to write the story. You get to write the story because it's all your life. It's not anyone else's. Like, why are we here? Okay? So, thank you again for listening. Have a nice day. I believe I'll be seeing you soon. So have a nice one, sir.